There were several veterans who had a spinal condition, a treatable spinal condition called cervical myopathy, that requires almost routine treatments. Well, these veterans ended up eventually, after not getting the care that they needed at the Manchester VA hospital, they went to the private sector, and the neurosurgeon there said that he was absolutely shocked that they had not gotten the care that they needed because this should have been so routine. Conditions deteriorate and get worse and sometimes prove fatal if you don't catch them early. Every elementary school child knows that, and yet the VA doesn't operate by that system. So bringing this in a full circle, again, when we hear this kind of comment from Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, not only does it display, I think, disrespect, towards the men and women who have served our country and ignorance about the dysfunction of the VA, it's also frightening to me, Dr. Hayworth, because it shows me, or it makes me question, is this what the Democrats, and particularly the Democratic Socialists, want to bring to the entire United States? Is this the type of dysfunction they're okay with? Is this the type of thing that if you or I or our family members or our viewers had these issues and experienced these secret wait lists or family members dying for lack of care or rusty medical instruments, is that what a Medicare for All system would turn into?
Well, Liz, absolutely. If government is the sole provider, then government is the sole decider. And one of the foundational deficits in the VA system, which is indeed our example in this country, if anybody should be motivated to provide the very best of care for their patient population, Lord knows it's the VA, right? But the VA bureaucracy is so rigid and so process-oriented and so paperwork-oriented and so dominated by, as you said, by relationships with contractors that can indeed be corrupt in that they're serving themselves and not the patients. That is inherent to these government bureaucracies. That's the way they operate. They are not responsive to a customer base, essentially to a consumer base. They're responsive to the bureaucracy and to process. And the only way Democrats can see that working is to rope all of us in to this big, awful, dysfunctional system, because somehow they seem to envision that that's going to solve all our problems when all it will do is limit our choices, cause a decline in the quality of our care, and cause us to get far less value for the millions and billions and indeed trillions of dollars that we will pour into that kind of system. It doesn't work. It never will. Government can force us to pay for bad decisions, and that's what it does in the VA, and that's what it would do in a single-payer system nationwide.